What's up guys, the Strong Boys 19 here. I want to make another different purpose of a topic in this different video because I wanted to say some things with you guys when it comes to the journey and the appreciation for the passion and the heart of loving music. The whole discussion can lead into a diversion of different points of view and words down in the comments, because if you guys want to join in and have this particular discussion with me, then go right ahead. The discussions about the expression and experiences when you listen to music, and also another thing which I will go to later on, is the lack of open-mindedness when you're a music fan. I won't go into it like way too long about that open-mindedness topic because I want to say this music experience part first. So let's just squeeze all of these things into one lengthy video instead of making two videos. Alright, when I was listening to music by myself, either in this bedroom or even when I would be going out and listening to music on Spotify. So I have two different spots on Spotify. Walking music, which I go out on my own and listen to music to pass the time, and the gym playlist when I listen to music inside the gym. But the more I think about music when I am on my own, it has definitely put myself in a whole new world. And I know that's obvious to say, but the more I would be thinking about it, and yet you guys could maybe do the same thing, it speaks to you when you feel transcending into whatever emotion a piece of music can give you. I was listening to music on the purpose of having the appreciation of not only the art, but to get yourself lost into your own space. I was listening to one of the Deftones' albums, if I can get it out. I was listening once again to the self-titled record, and by the way, I've been growing to love a lot more of this record. As I've mentioned this previously, that I really like this album, but I got to be fully invested with this album a lot better. Anyway, I'm going off topic. I was listening to this record throughout this time, and there's just always something about music that is either very heavy or dark, or maybe in the opposite of the darkness, something joyful or positivity. It takes a lot of the pieces of their expression of whatever it is with you. You will be connected, you will be just attached. So as I was looking around, looking in the outside world, looking at how high the trees are, to looking at the sky, and then looking over towards a lot of the leaves on the ground everywhere, to the river, looking at the motion, the animated look of it, all the few splashes and making a few gentle waves. It's like that I'm in a different planet, but to have a theme of the music when you feel so absorbed and engaged with what you're listening to. Now, listening to music does take you into however you're feeling, because most of the time when I listen to, I don't know, a different band, when it comes to a different genre, it makes me feel connected to how I'm feeling. Like there's some songs from Deftones to Slipknot or Black Sabbath that I can heavily relate to. Even if it's something personal or just with nostalgia, not just for the sake of it, but it's like that they are always there by your side. That is a pretty great thing to think about something like this when you're a music fan. And there are other phenomenons when you would be so invested into this type of thing that it makes music as a whole even more of a beloved, gigantic, full of artistic form of expression. I don't know if this is all just like a really random ramble, but there's some kind of philosophical way when I and many of us know when we listen to music. The other thing now that I want to go to, as I mentioned earlier, is the open-mindedness. It doesn't matter what your taste of music really is. And this would also be leading forwards into the, not community, but the whole group of people who are rock fans or metal fans, that there's a lot of respect to who we love and admire to listen to and to show their love, buying and supporting bands. But then there's other discussions for the fact that open-mindedness has to be, at this point in my opinion, as a relevant thing. Open-mindedness is always a big important part when you are a lover of any artistic detail and expression in music. Music not only takes you into a place of where you want to go with these musicians, but there are not only the obstacles around these separate journeys that we all have to face. We can have the right to say anything positively or negatively, but no matter where you're going to go, and this is the same thing with musicians, they have no idea where anything in their lives that they're going to go into. No matter where you guys are going to go into, there's just the biggest amount of appreciation that we are always grateful to enjoy the art for what it is. Some experiments of things in music may work with your reaction, and sometimes it doesn't work with your reactions, which does lead into the changeable path of the way we listen to music in our different moods. I love listening to music that can be very difficult to agonizing or just uncomfortable or just over the top. Like this one right here, Mr. Bungle's self-titled record, or maybe something like a Frank Zappa album, or something similar to those types of styles that you're just not ready with. Swans, for example, Captain Beefheart, or the avant-garde genre. I know there are some friends of mine who would not like that type of stuff, but I know that there are others who love that type of thing. Rock bands, examples like with Pink Floyd. Some people say that they are like very depressing, very dark, and like so out there in their own path of their ways of making music. Or some say like with King Crimson, because they are another band with a gigantic amount of examples in adventurous direction of music. So from In the Court of the Crimson King to something like this, Discipline, or many lineup changes would lead into something that you may like or don't like, or even, lineup changes that can lead into a lot of dividing opinions. Just like with one of the biggest rock and metal bands ever, besides Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, in something like this, instead of a classic lineup that just maybe would stay forever, but most of the time they don't last forever. And that's where music tastes can be so different, but when it comes to open-mindedness and the appreciation for liking one another's taste of music, that makes music as even more of like one of the biggest things to really discover the way we listen to music. I do not like some stuff when it comes to other people's tastes, but yet alone, I wouldn't want to be one of these people that would be close-minded. When I was a teenager, I was very judgmental in the way people would be listening to this or that band. And, I was always into metal, different metal bands, and yet liking a few rock bands. I still remember the past form of myself when I was always in it for the metal, but yet over time when I was learning more guitar, discovering genres like with blues and folk, and then discovering some different genres like into some pop, ambient, jazz, electronic stuff, psychedelic stuff, it made me realize now that I'm not just a metalhead all the way through anymore. I still love metal. I love a lot of it. And there were some that I don't like. Same goes with every other genre. But open-mindedness is something that I feel that it has been, losing its touch for this modern day and age of society, and with the way we express things. So that's why I find that the more I like to express myself and to be open as possible, whether it's something positive or negative, the respect is always there. There's always that expression that you have to consider, getting yourself into the appreciation, the respect, and it's cliche to say this, we can't like everything, but we can have the right to say what we want to say. If you don't like something that I like, that's fine by me. And it's the same thing in the opposite way. If I don't like something that you like, then things will be cool. It depends on the personality. I've mentioned this type of thing before through videos, but I thought I would say it again here just to, clear our heads in the way when we love music. And it's also awesome that we are gathered with anybody, not even in a group, but with anybody, just to make it as open as possible and be here for one another with music. Let me know what you think of this in the comments down below. This is just a long ramble, as I've said earlier on, but I wanted to say some things like this because there's a lot of that discussion into talking about discussions in this point of view than just a music listener grabbing a record, grabbing a CD, play it and enjoy it, but to be fully invested with a lot of people's reactions in the way we like to say anything in a discussion, open-mindedness, and to be enjoying the things that we love to talk about in this best form of entertainment and artistic expressions. It makes the best of both worlds. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll keep you guys posted for more videos in the near future.